हाँ.
Model for process, product, or services. So, to know better, today we have organized digital twins and artificial intelligence. So, now regarding the speaker's profile, so, Dr. Sandeep Kotish is working as a professor and dean of academics with LVF College, Kathmandu, Nepal, and running in a academic collaboration with Asia Pacific University of Technology and Innovation, Malaysia. He is an academician and accomplished professor with over 16 years of experience, including over 5 years in academic administration in various institutions of India and abroad. He earned his bachelor's, master's in computer science, and a doctorate degree in computer science on intelligence systems in social networks. He holds a PG diploma in management too. His areas of research interest are the decision support system, business analyst, machine learning, data mining, and information system. He is also an editorial member reviewed in various reputed journals like SCI, IEEE, and Springer, etc., etc. So we would like to welcome once again our very talented and energetic speaker, to Professor Dr. Sandeep Kotish, sir. Welcome, and floor is open for you. Now, please, you can proceed it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, very good afternoon to everyone. It's my pleasure to have this seminar and the opening seminar for the LBF R&D cell. And the idea behind starting this series is to cultivate some kind of culture among our students, and not only our students, but for people outside of the campus as well, that we should have a platform where we come across to meet each other, discuss some contemporary issues which are running in the industry of IT management, and we idea is to bring everything in a global sense. However, topics which we are selecting at this moment are basically from IT related field, but very soon we are coming up with new topics, new ideas. Our all faculty members will be participating and will be presenting their seminars, webinars very soon. And for today's discussion, let's start. We are going to discuss about the digital twins and the artificial intelligence. As you know, that when we when we talk about artificial intelligence, this will not be a new term for anyone. Those who are attendees, around 14 attendees I can see in my list, and including the 3 panelists. Artificial intelligence is not a new word for anyone. But the point is whether we actually know what is digital twin. I think the answer will be a little bit different. Just a minute. Yeah. Is my screen is wider now? Panelists, please confirm. Any panelists can confirm whether this screen is fully visible or not?
So yeah, it's visible. It's visible now.
Yes. Okay, let's start. What kind of topics, what kind of things we are going to discuss for today's agenda points will be what is digital twin, and we will be discussing about the characteristics, like what defines digital twins, and what are the basic elements of the types of digital twins, the history, the historical pattern, from where the digital twin words has come from, and how it works, what are the basic working mechanism of digital twins, what are the elements, what are the application areas. This is a very important thing, at what industry areas or some kind of commercial areas which are being benefited by digital twins. Then we will have some hands-on examples at how, which of the tools, which of the companies are using these digital twin technologies for doing their industry 4.0 activities. We will talk about what are the future implications, future challenges, which future directions for digital twins. And finally, we will conclude the session while having a discussion among the people. They can raise the questions. We can have some kind of interrogation as well. So these are the agenda points for today. And I have tried to cover all the basic level to medium level, intermediate level aspects of digital twins. Advanced level things we will discuss in coming time when we will have some hands-on exercises at how the things can be implemented in practical, in real world. Let's start up. Audience are not actually allowed to open up, but here we can have a simple discussion. I believe a few of you might have tried to make some machine in their life. However, computer engineers do not make machines, but nowadays when we are talking about interdisciplinary research, then interdisciplinary research cannot be accomplished without having computer science, electronics, electrical engineers work together. And one of the very simple example which we see nowadays, IoT, Internet of Things. Now, IoT cannot be implemented without the seamless integration between the IT, computer science, electronics, and electrical. So my question is, one open up question is that, have you ever tried to develop a machine, to make a machine? If yes, then if yes, then what are the basic level mechanism and how many attempts we have to make it functional flawlessly, right? Like for example, if you are making some kind of automobile machinery or maybe a robotic machinery, then how much attempts we need to take for making the attempt in a real world or a flawless manner, right? Like just the ideal one that yes, this robotic model will be working perfectly all right in real time also. Now, this thing will have compelled us to think about, have you ever wanted, if you could find out how the machine is going to function before assembling all components? Can we just imagine that before actual assembling of the component, how the machine is going to perform? I think if I say you that you can simulate your devices on your desktop as the same ad is going to be performed in the real world. If I ask you that you do not need to manufacture the machine at first, you just have to create a simulation model, right, on your desktop. And it will be letting you know whether your simulation, whether your prototype will be actually performing in the real world or not. And what will be the performance parameters, whether all the performance parameters are meeting to each other or not. Now this thing, here the picture comes in digital twin. When you do not need to make a real device, a real hardware in real, you just try to simulate it using some kind of mechanism, and by this way you complete the actual functioning of the product or the devices. The digital twin is simply can be defined exact replica of the device which we are going to manufacture with all its component, from micro atomic level to macro geometric level. From micro level to macro level, everything, every component, every segment will be exactly replicated in such a way that this is the possibility, this lies within the realms of possibility and can be realized with the help of digital twin. And nowadays, digital twin is a real-time digital clone of physical device. In simple, we can define it's a real-time digital clone of a physical device. We do not need to produce physical device first. We can simply create a digital clone, a replica, exact replica. We will try it in some kind of controlled environment in labs, especially computer managed lab, and we can enhance the performance criteria, whether we can see whether this product will be actually performing as per the requirement or not. Or if some changes are required, we can definitely make within the prototype, rather actually manufacturing it. Right now, this is very important thing to understand. Nowadays, companies are manufacturing so many products which are coming like Alexa, cars, new mobiles are coming up. Lakhs of monies we are spending on mobiles, right? Crores of money a person can spend on buying a Ferrari car or even a higher level, very advanced level bike. Is it possible that without manufacturing all these products, we can have a performance evaluation. If it is possible, definitely company can save so many of money, so much of efforts can be saved if we actually able to make a twin or a clone of the actual device, actual bike, car, mobile, anything, and see what will be the performance of this device in real world, right? So in a very simple thing, we will be discussing the advantages of digital twin in coming slide, but the foremost advantage you can see by this discussion, the company can save lots of money, lots of investment, lots of time, energy by using digital twin system. A digital twin, again, we are working back to definition part. A digital twin, in essence, a computer program. It's nothing else other than a simple computer program that uses real world data to create simulations that can predict how a product or a process will perform. Without actually manufacturing a car manufacturing company can create a digital twin of the car and understand whether what will be the performance enhancement criteria of this car. For example, if I want to see that whether my car will be accident proof or not, whether what will be the chances that if a collision takes place in a road, then what are the chances that car will be able to save the driver, or what kind of damage is going to happen if the power of this striking is up to 250 horsepower or 350 horsepower, right? You might have seen some kind of videos in Discovery or some kind of this kind of channels where some cars are being told that this is the error proof car, this is the most secure car of the year. How the secure car is being how the tag of secure car of the year is given to that car, right? So thus such kind of simulation only can let us know that whether how the car will be safe and secure in terms of accidents. Now, digital twin is a combination of several activities. We are combining IoT, Internet of Things, Industry 4.0, artificial intelligence, and finally, very importantly, analytics part. We have to have such kind of smart software which can provide us real-time data. We can prototype them in such a way that real output can be generated, and we can have a decision whether this product will be meeting with the requirement or not. And if the replica of digital twin is performing as per the expectation, we can start actual physical production. The company nowadays, Industry 4.0, lots of industrialization is going on. Lots of companies are coming up. Global competition is coming up, right? The company first test their digital twin. If the performance criteria is as per requirement, they start doing the physical production. If it is not, then they have to make some kind of changes. Now, you look at this picture. Now, this is the actual installation of some kind of marine engineering in which one ship is being there nearby this, and they might be trying to explore some kind of oil or natural gas in the sea, right? This sea, the structure, this mounted structure, this ship structure can be simulated in a digital environment in such a way. We can determine whether this kind of ship, what sinking possibilities will be there, what kind of slope we should keep so that the transportation of goods from this to this location to this location can be streamlined, right? What kind of weight it can be able to bear it. This is actually the digital exact replica of the actual doing. If we start doing all these things without having digital replica or this kind of digital twin, there are chances that later stage we identify that this model or this system cannot work. Then the entire money, entire efforts, time will be wasted, right? Again, very important thing I would like to highlight here, the more kind of depth analysis which we are going to do using software analytics, will be depending whether your product will be successful or not. If we are doing a very shallow level analysis, then outcome may be different. Outcome may be not as per expectation. That is why extensive programming, extensive mathematical modeling is required. We have to create such kind of mathematical model for each and everything. And that is why this is the combination of IT, computer science, electronics, math, stats. The people who are working for creating digital twins are not pure computer science professionals. They are actually basically statisticians or mathematicians working in collaboration with computer programmers. Computer programmers are creating the equations into computer programs, and by this way, the actual replica of the actual product is being created. So this is a very simple example which you can see how digital twins are created of real world object and digital twin object. What are the characteristics of digital twin? We have to be very comprehensive in terms of replica and accurate representation. Again, I'm emphasizing, you can create representation, there's no harm, but how accurate it will be, that will be depending upon how right you are in terms of statistical mathematical calculation. Even a single digit variation among the actual and digital twin, there will be lots of variation in terms of output. And this variation in output can make a product successful or unsuccessful. Advanced level analytics, machine learning algorithms will be used for digital twin. Static, historical, and real-time data. Now, static means when we have, okay, what will be the dimension of this pole? What will be the radius of this pole? Static information. Because when we are going to actually develop the pole for some kind of manufacturing, the radius will not be changed, right? It will be static only. But there are some kind of real-time data. For example, when we are creating a JCB machine, if we are simulating JCB machine operation, then apparatus of JCB machine or devices will be moving. On real time, what predictions, what behavior they are going to put, that we have to understand. Also, historical. What are the historical patterns? Have we ever tried this model in some other project? If yes, then what were the results? So statistical data, static data, historical data, and real-time data all are working in conjunction. And all data are important. If there's a huge variation among the data, the result may be very out of the way. And lastly, context-dependent user interface. Now, context-dependent means we have to understand whether this model is working, whether this model is molding, whether a model is moving, at what degree it is moving. So all these are context-dependent. We have to understand that user interface of such kind of digital replica are always flexible and always based on context. If we want to move the product, context will be different. If we are going to make this digital replica standing alone, we have to be changing the context for the development. So these are the basic characteristics of any kind of digital twins. Now, as per the category, if we see the types of digital twins are 3 types. We are talking lots about prototype. Now, this is the first type of twin which we develop. This is undertaken before a physical product is created. Before actual production, we create some kind of digital twin prototype. And after digital type prototype performance evaluation, when the performance is found as per the criteria, as per the requirement, we go with the next level, next type, which is called digital twin instance. Instance means we create a digital twin actually. This is done once a product is manufactured in order to run tests on different uses scenario. When we have manufactured the product, we try that digital twin instance and the actual instance, what kind of gaps are there in terms of performance, what kind of variations are there in the terms of performance of the instance. And lastly, the final stage comes when we create a digital twin aggregate. Aggregate means this gather DTI, digital twin instance information to determine the capability of the product, run the prognostics, and test operating parameters. Now, actual success of any digital twin doesn't end by only prototype. We have to reach at the level of aggregation, where the real world project and digital replica performance are meeting to each other. I can give a scenario here that you have applied digital algorithm, sorry, mathematical algorithm, you have developed some kind of replica, that's fine. As for the prototype, the performance, maybe you say 9.7. The performance of digital twin is coming 9.7. But when you actually produce some kind of product and test the performance is coming 9.5. Means the digital twin prototyping, somewhere you have applied a wrong model, your mathematical calculation, statistical calculation are somewhere somehow wrong. That is why the 0.2% variation is coming in terms of digital twin prototype and digital twin aggregation. And there we have to see that what are the gaps. And ideally, if gap is coming, then we should not go for the actual manufacturing production. We should try to cover up the what? The gap. We have to cover up the gap between the replica and the aggregate model. And when both the matches, both the products are matching to each other, then we can actually start a production system. So these are not actually types of digital twins. These are basically steps. First, we develop a prototype, then we develop an instance, and then finally we combine them by instance and prototype comparison, whether the actual product or digital product are meeting in the performance criteria or not. If they're not meeting, we have to work on algorithm, we have to work on machine learning concepts, the mathematical calculation, so that the gap between the digital twin and the actual product can be minimized or eliminated. Now, this word digital twin, from where it has come? The concept and model of digital twin was officially put forward in 2002 by Michel Gravier as a conceptual model. It was basically conceptual model. Conceptual means just an idea, just a thought. When Dr. Michel underlying the product lifecycle management, he was doing some research. He developed a conceptual model for this. And then it was practiced. Basically, it was practiced in 1960s by NASA. They used basic digital twin idea for space programming. When they were developing Apollo 13, NASA were developing Apollo 13 for the moon mission. At that time, they used digital twin idea. Whether they developed a digital twin for the Apollo 13, they tested it that whether it will be working in space or not. They provided space kind of conditions, limited conditions to the digital twin idea, the product, and they tested whether this model will be working in space or not. Actually, what we can say, the NASA already had started using digital twin concept in 1960s. And however, this terminology digital twin was properly proposed and authentically given by John Vickers in 2010 when he was discussing the report on NASA 2010 roadmap report. This term digital twin came into picture in 2010, just 10 years back. However, NASA is using this since 1960s. But if you try to search some kind of literature on digital twin, if you try to find some kind of research papers or books, so you will able to find this term is very new. And till now, there is no uniform model that how the digital twins can be implemented. However, IBM, Oracle, they have provided some software tools for simulation kind of activities, but all these are very limited because digital twin of automotive product and digital twin of robotic product will be totally different from each other. We cannot say that the protocols, the models, the methods which we're using for one kind of digital twin can also be replicated in another kind of digital twin? No. So entire functioning, entire system, objective of the product is different from each other. So the digital twin also have to be different. Here you can see the new class of the digital twin historical evaluation. You can identify that digital evaluation starts from 85. Like when digital twin was just a concept, it was discussed in the R&D engineering focus environment and focused on only the information mirroring model. Whatever information we are providing, whether actual mirror can be created or not. That's it. However, 3D modeling had started, remote programming, robotics were the buzzing words at that time. But after 2002, when 18 years were passed for this information mirroring model, the digital simulation and 3D printing start, where we actually started using CAD CAM software in order to identify whether this model will be working in a virtual environment or not. Right? This era was there for 12 years, 2003 to 2014, where collaborative simulation workflow across the global enterprises. Browser and web access were being provided so that the simulation can be drawn. 3D printing goes mainstream. People started talking about the 3D printing, virtual assembly, simulations. All these concepts were there in picture from 2003 to 2014. And then a new word came into picture, IoT. 2014, 2016, 3 years, we started talking about intelligent devices. Here we talk about intelligent IoT or Internet of Medical Things, right? Medical devices, right? Here we started talking about connecting devices. Can we connect, one kind of device in my home, like my internet router, my laptop, my mobile? Can I connect all these 3 devices in such a way that if Wi-Fi is not available, I get a message that there is some kind of problem, right? In advance, I get a notification. We started talking about big data analytics. Large amount of data is there in the cloud. Can we have some kind of pattern recognition in this large amount of data? Can we have an understanding that large amount of data can be analyzed in such a way that useful information can be bring out? And can we use this useful information in terms of creating some kind of decisions? This thing came into picture from 2014 and still going on. However, there's no clear cut, we have a clear barriers are not there. And now we are talking about the advanced level AR, VR techniques, augmented reality and virtual reality. We have started talking about cognitive sciences, where machines are replacing humans in terms of doing something. Here, some kind of device is being, you can see this picture, there's one kind of replica has been created in the last, this one, right? There's no physical device, only the AR, VR techniques are being used and machines are being operated. We have guided interaction. Guided interaction means we know what set of instruction we are going to feed in the machine and how they are going to perform in coming time. And also, since 2010 onwards, we can say Industry 4.0 has come into picture, where collaborative manufacturing has been started. All the devices, all the manufacturing things which we are developing nowadays are basically a combination of electronics, electrical, and computer science engineering. There's no device which is not having any combination. Autonomous thinking, blending human-computer interaction started on, and by this way, digital twins have been involved, and nowadays digital twins are being used in all manufacturing areas. There are many models which have come up. Now let's come back to the basic one, the working of digital twins. how it works, the basic mechanism of digital twin. Digital twin of any device which we are going to manufacture is basically working model of all the components, right? Integrated and mapped together using physical data, virtual data, and interaction data. Now, physical data means when we actually manufacture it, how the transmission will be going on. Virtual means digital twins, and interaction when a component within the digital twin model is transmitting the data from one component to another component, right? And we can make an understanding that a fully functional replica of device, how it is going to perform. Here we can see it will be consisting of three parts: the physical part, the digital part, and the connection between the two. We have to create a physical part, digital twin, a digital part. The connection here refers to the data. It flows from physical product to the digital virtual product, and information that is being available from the digital environment to the physical environment. When we create a digital twin, we have three parts: the physical part, the digital part, right? And how the connection between these two digital and physical parts are going on. That is called connection. And these connections are basically made by sensors, IoT. Sensors make connection between the digital part and physical part, and the seamless interaction takes place. And then we have some mathematical algorithm so that we can measure that the interaction, the data transmission from physical model to digital model is seamless or not, or is there some interruption, or there is some loss of data, or there is some intrusion. All these things are being checked. Here you can see the physical space, and this is the virtual space. This is the you can facility layout. You can call it a factory layout or facility layout. How the factory operation will be going on, and here we can have a simulation, and seamless interaction between the data and information is required. Now this is called the digital, what you can say, prototype. And when we actually produce the production, the physical space and virtual space, the data information are being transferred, how the things will be going on, like you say earth work estimation, how the work estimation will be done, material trucking, how the movement will be taking place, safety monitoring, how it will be done. Very advanced level mathematical modeling is required for such developing such kind of digital twin construction process. Elements, sensors, very important thing we have to understand. Without sensors, digital twins cannot work. Now sensors can be there for capturing operational behavior of the processes or the assets, maybe vibration, temperature, pressure, right? These operational behavior, and alongside their functioning environment, air temperature, humidity. Just a minute. Okay, so sensors are very important in terms of digital twins working mechanism. Without sensors, digital twins cannot transfer data from physical to virtual space. Communication network, how the sensors will be capturing data and will be sending to the virtual reality system. Providing network, providing secure and reliable data transmission from physical to digital world. A digital platform, yes, a tool which will be showing the actual implementer whether the data is being captured or not, data is being transformed or not, if some kind of conversion is required. The digital platform is kind of a device, it's kind of a software that serves as a modern data repository, pooling and storing shop floor sensor data with high level business data. ERP, it is connected with the ERP system, enterprise resource planning, maybe SAP. A SAP is having kind of data A SAP is having kind of data for how the companies is being operating and how this ERP data will be transformed to other device so that the seamless transformation of data can take place. By combining these data sources, actionable insights can be derived. When we are converting some kind of industry data, or you say the company data, ERP based data, we are sending to the virtual machine system, then we can have an actionable insight, some kind of machine learning algorithm, deep learning algorithm we can apply, right? So that we can identify whether some insightful information is there or not. Now this thing cannot be working without AI and machine learning algorithm. How digital twins are created? Let us understand the process. First, we have to develop a mathematical model, because at one side we have to create a digital version. One side we have to create a physical version. How the digital version will be actually performing as per the real working of physical model, that cannot be done without a mathematical model. But here, the applied mathematics and physics. Why physics? Means we are actually developing a physical, like I'm simulating the factory operation, right? So factory operation cannot be simulated without physics, because it will be mounted on wall, it will be near the earth, right? What will be the height of this kind of device, gravity, all these things are important. So first, for creating digital twin, we have to build a mathematical model that how a digital twin will be simulating the actual picture of physical model, physical object. After developing a medical model, we have to collect data and information. We have to ensure that the data transmission, operational data, physical data will be smoothly moving from physical space to virtual space. And that is being done by the software. I will let you know how many tools are available in market, which can, few are open source tools as well, which can develop some kind of replica. But please understand, without mathematical model, we cannot implement with digital twins. Simulating digital version. Once we establish that this is the model, physical model, this is the actual model, the digital twin model, we can start actual operations in terms of simulating digital version. The developer ensure that the virtual computer model can receive the feedback from sensors that gather data from the real world version and the digital version. We can seamlessly passing the data, simulating the version, and then we underline sensors attachments. The sensors are connected to the physical product that helps to collect data, send it back to digital version, and the interaction help to optimize the product performance. First, we create digital model, mathematical model. We start collecting data information. We start simulating the digital version, sensor attachments, and finally, we assess the prototype performance. The twin can be used with the prototype to offer the feedback on the product, whether the digital twin is working as per the physical model or not. Right? I mean to say, we can have an understanding that this kind of development, the twin can be used with the prototype to offer feedback, right? And we can actually understand that what is going to happen when a physical version is developed and how the performance criteria are being meeting or not. What is required? There are so many research questions. When we talk about digital twins, there are so many research questions. Still, we are not clear what kind of technology required to building and deploying the digital twins, because it's a very expensive process and lots of people will be involved. Only computer scientists or only electronical engineers cannot perform everything. They need mathematician, the people from physics who can actually work on the physical model of the product. And the computer scientists are required to deploy their efforts in terms of the IT tool management. So still, there are no clear technology. What technology is needed for organization to make digital twins? Reality for large scale deployment? Actually, we are not clear. That is why when we talk about robotics, so robots are actually digital twins. In a very basic level, we can say, very basic sense, robots are basically digital twins. But performance criteria, there are some kind of discussion that can we deploy robots in border area as a soldier. This large scale deployment, what technology is required? Still unanswerable. Scientists are doing their work. That what will be the actual soldier is doing and what will be the robotic soldier will be doing on border. Because while working on border areas, soldiers are required to do so many things. Sometimes they are aggressive, sometimes they are cooperative, sometimes they are target focused, sometimes they are. So can we deploy such kind of, what technology is required to make intelligent digital twins, which can work in a real way and large scale deployment? How do we manage thousands of digital twins, of 1,000 different types of digital twins? We have no idea. Because if I am going to develop one bike, right? I developed a digital twin for the bike. If I'm going to develop another bike, after 5 years, my company is going to develop another bike, right? Then can we use the old digital twin? Question mark. How do you integrate a digital twin with other systems? If I want that my digital twin should be working in conjunction with the other systems, or if I try to connect digital twin with some robotics technology, is it possible? How? And lastly, we can say these are unanswered questions, research questions. Building a digital twin is complex, and there is as yet no standardized platform for doing those, at least till now. So things are going on, research is going on. So in coming days, in coming years, some technology can come up. And lastly, let us see that what are the tools. Predix, IoTFi, Oracle IoT Production Monitoring Cloud, Exelos, Ansys Twin Builder, Autodesk Digital Twin, and Bosch IoT Suite. Yeah, these are the common platforms. These are basically softwares which help you in terms of mathematical modeling, digital twin creation process, and performance enhancement. The people who are working with the such kind of automobile companies, they are working in terms of digital twin production. So these tools Oracle has provided. IoTFi were very important, very in terms of IoT implementation, right? It can be used, and IoTFi is also providing you free access for some limited time. Oracle, Bosch are basically licensed software. We cannot use them without having a license, without having a user ID and password. But IoTFi and some basic level, but to be very honest, all those tools which are being offered at free of cost are providing just limited functioning, of the product. Now look at this. The B&R Automation has recently announced a new simulation tools for model-based machine development that integrates what they call industrial physics simulation. Now they have Automation Studio engineering environment, and they have developed this kind of automation system. It makes it possible for developers to directly import CAD data, computer-aided designing data, from machine component or entire machines to quickly, easily generate a digital twin. Developers are able to run the virtual model on a PC and then also directly connect it with the machine controller. So B&R Automation has come up with the simulation tools, which we refer to as Automation Studio Engineering Environment. You can have a picture of this. This is a robotic arm. This robotic arm performance enhancement criteria can be managed at what degree this arm can move, at what degree it can pick something, right? At what degree it will be performance, different criteria are being given, and we can have a simulation of them. Like you can see that triggers, if we what kind of triggers will be there. The trigger means when we ask them to function something, right? How the instruction will be passed, what will be the parameters. So this is one kind of snapshot of this. The company provided the robotic arm digital twin. Being a software engineer, people can have some kind of inputs in terms of data, right? But when we come to the actual physical production, then definitely electrical engineers are required to be deployed along with the computer engineers so that a digital actual replica can be generated. Now, what are the applications? As I told you in beginning itself, that nowadays, since Industry 4.0 has come into picture, many areas are being benefited by digital twins. Many areas. But let's start manufacturing. Very important one. Before investing thousands of dollars into actual production and mass level production of a product, companies always prefer to have a digital twin of the product, have a performance criteria checking, and then if the performance is up to mark, they can start working on the actual production. Automobile engineering, before actually manufacturing some kind of car, right? Just make a digital twin, just produce one physical device and start comparing that what will be the actual performance criteria. Aerospace, NASA, ISRO, all the companies or the organizations which are working in terms of space engineering, they also try to simulate that what satellite can be better performing in terms of space. They can create some kind of simulations on the Earth itself, and they can identify whether their satellite is going to perform as per the criteria or not. Healthcare, the automatic diagnostics, right? The machinery which are smart healthcare systems, IoT based healthcare system. These are benefited by digital twin technology. The wind farming is there, where you can predict that at what rate the production of power or electricity can be there by using wind farm, what speed is required, how we can enhance the performance criteria, right? So these are very basic level. I'm just giving a very basic overview. Here you can have benefits. You will improve the quality. You will increase the efficiency. You will reduce the cycle time. What is cycle time? Cycle time means when you get a idea of manufacturing something and when you deliver it. And normally in industry, the cycle time comes in years, so many years. But if we go with a digital twin technology, we can definitely decrease the cycle time. When we have an idea, we can make a digital twin within some fixed time, and we can see the performance and also diagnosis and fix failure. If I am working in marine engineering and my company is trying to explore oil and gas in mid of the sea, right? So diagnosis and fixing the failure will be very costly. But using digital twin, of course, important thing is the digital replica and a physical replica both should be identical. The seamless data integration, communication should be there. And yes, optimizing robot operation management and reduce operational cost. There are multiple benefits of any kind of digital twin, and let us have some more examples. NASA already using the pair technology, right, for precursor to digital twin technology from the earliest days. They are using this. This was precisely how engineers and astronauts on Earth determined how to rescue Apollo 13 mission. If you have sent a satellite for space mission, you are sitting at Earth, your satellite is in the space, you can have some kind of troubleshooting by using digital replica, by sitting on Earth. And this is not a new term. NASA, ISRO, these companies are already using such kind of mechanism. But yes, limited features are available, right? Limited things are available. But within the limited boundaries, you can have some kind of rescue operations. Nowadays, digital twins are used at NASA to explore next generation vehicles and aircraft. Now, satellites are over. NASA is planning that by 2050, they want to start residential area on Moon or Mars. How we are going to implement that? So they have already started doing all these things. Simulations. Digital twin technology can help personnel get comfortable with the IoT implementation and automation. Of course, for example, if a patient is there, okay, if a patient can use the digital replica so that he can get comfortable that how the devices of IoT, smart healthcare will be used. Some kind of visuals can be created. Now these lessons learned and opportunities uncovered through a digital twin. Here we can see digital twins can revolutionize the healthcare operations and the patient care. A digital twin of a patient or organ allows surgeons or health professionals to practice procedure in a simulated environment rather than a real patient. You can not only teach the future doctors, but also you can examine that how this organ plantation or replantation activity will be going on. Such kind of digital replica can be created. Sensors, the size of bandages can monitor patients and produce digital models. Using AI and we can improve the healthcare system. So healthcare is being benefited by digital models, digital twins very much. Sports. Digital twin technology can ever be deployed to refine the Formula One car racing, by which what we can do in a sport where every second is being counted in Formula One racing. So simulation can help the driver and the car team to know what adjustment can improve the performance, at what radius car need to be molded or transformed, by which speed can be maintained and the accident chances can be avoided. So how the performance can be enhanced, digital twins can help out in sports. Similarly in cricket, similarly in football. At what angle the header should be used by a football player so that the goal can be secured. The digital replica, digital twin can help out in determining this answer. Smart cities. Singapore is a totally digital twin based country. They have imagined all the variables. Look at this. All the variables. Now, what are the variables of smart cities? Roads, smart traffic management, smart hospitals, right? So digital twin technology can help the city planners understand and to improve the efficiency of energy consumption, smart power supply, smart traffic system. These all things can be improved by the digital twin. And finally, it will be improving the life of people. Retail. Digital twin plays a key role in terms of augmenting the real customer experience by manufacturing a simulation that could accurately represent how a specific model of a product taken in the individual life. Like if I'm buying a jacket, right, I can have a digital replica in order to understand that how I will be looking in this jacket. To test if there is any potential in the new design of the product to cut back expenses without having to make large scale physical changes to the entire product range, which can reduce the market price of the product. Yes, we can test if there's some kind of potential. Okay, new design has been developed for this jacket. How this new design can help out in terms of making cutting down the cost before the actual production. And nowadays, the price leadership is most important. If you can cut down the cost of any product, you are having a chance that you can become a leader of the market. Price leadership is a simple model. Once the innovation works for the digital model, you can start actually investing in physical assets. You can start manufacturing the large scale production. So what we can say, there's no area which is untouched from digital twins and AI, machine learning based technology, simulation, the actual digital replica, and benefiting. Look at the future prospects of digital twins. The global market for digital twins is expected to grow very rapidly, and you can see it will be reaching $15.7 billion by 2023, according to markets research. Digital twins have lots of potential in terms of healthcare. COVID has taught us so many lessons that we people are doing so many things, but healthcare should not be avoided. Healthcare should be the prime area of investments for any country, for any nation, for any kind of civilized society. And digital twins can play a major role in terms of smart healthcare, intelligent healthcare, smart cities, construction, smart manufacturing, industry 4.0, smart farming, smart agriculture has also come up based on digital twins, whether this crop will be working or not, what kind of agriculture devices will be performing on actual in the farms. And all the big names, Bosch, Microsoft, IBM, GE, LG, all are doing their high investments in terms of creating such kind of digital twins and AI and R&D investments. If you look at the portfolio system of these companies, they are investing huge amount of money, around 15-20% of their revenue in terms of R&D. All these companies, Microsoft, IBM, GE, LG, Nokia, Xiaomi, all these companies. So that is one of the discussion from my end. If you have something, I think we can start discussion part. Please, please raise your hand, and then we can have a discussion. Attendees. Yes, I think question answer is there. Arun Sahani. Hello.
If anybody has any questions, they can ask in chat or in question answers. Sandeep sir will read it and then try to answer those. Or even if you want one-to-one interaction, just say in the chat. We'll allow you to talk.
Yes, we will allow your mic to be on, and we can have a discussion.
Arun Sahni, I think he has written.
पहले
Arun.
पूछा था about can we have can
So,
the audience have the mic there? So Arun,
Yes, Arun Sahni.
Arun
Arun
Sahni
Sahni,
has
I have
written.
given you access of mic. You can unmute yourself and we can speak. Sandeep Adhikari also asking me, I think, just a minute. Sandeep Adhikari is not there.
So, sir,
Yes,
Arun
yes, ma'am.
Sahni has written one question. What prior knowledge and expertise required to go deep dive into this topic in production grade? Because he's in office, I think he is not able
Okay,
to.
okay,
Yeah. In
okay,
the chat, in the question and answer, he has written over there. I think
okay.
you can
So,
read over.
yes, yes. As I told you in presentation itself, only being expertise in computer science will not help you in terms of digital twins. We have to understand that first of all, we have to create a mathematical model of the actual product, maybe car. If we are going to make a digital twin of a car, we have to understand that what parameters we have to take into consideration in order to make a mathematical model of digital twin, so that if we are wrong in terms of mathematical calculation, our digital model or digital twin will not perform as per the physical device, right? It will be just like a prototype which we can develop. Like, okay, I can make a prototype of car at my home itself, right? But it will not be simulating the real world environment. And once you create a mathematical model, then we need to have a platform, a software platform, right? Like if I look at the academic aspects of this, then definitely electronic engineer have a better advantage over a computer science professional when we talk about creating digital twins, because he or she will be having a better understanding in terms of how the machines are behaving. And also, if we get a combination that a mathematician or a statistician and a computer science professional and an electronic professional are combining their efforts together, they can definitely make a digital replica. It's a basically a team effort. It will be not possible to create a digital twin by a single person who specializes in only one area, because it requires mathematical physical concepts to be explored. Then IoT is required to be explored. Then software tool we have to incorporate, mathematical machine learning models, AI based algorithms we have to deploy. So it's a variety of tasks are involved. Yes, I hope you got the answer. Next question.
anybody has any other question to ask?
I think during the presentation the voice and everything was clear.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
nothing
sir,
to be
it's clear.
repeated. Yes, it's better.
I am allowing everyone to talk. So if anybody wants to talk, you can.
Yes, better you unmute. Yes, yes, we can allow everyone if they
I
wish
am
to speak.
allowing everyone to talk.
Yes.
So that if someone wants to ask anything, they can unmute their mic and ask. And if nobody has any questions, then we can sum it up and end this webinar. I think nobody's interested in asking any questions. Dharma ma'am, I think we can sum it up and then
Yeah, definitely. So thank you very much for attending this session, and special thanks goes to our professor, sir, that he has given an overview how digital twins and the artificial intelligence join together and how it works. So I think all of them, they get everything. All the our objectives is fulfilled, I think. So in the next time, we are again arranging this types of session. So please, you can also join on that session also. So for this, yeah.
The another webinar is being planned for 13th of December.
Yeah. So right now, Jasveer sir, 13th of December, we are arranging another webinar. So also we are displaying on our Facebook too, websites too. So please, you can also watch over there. So by saying these words, once again, thank you very much and have a great day. We are closing here. Bye-bye, everyone.
Okay, everyone, thank you very much. Thank you, Dharma ma'am, Jasveer sir, and
Okay,
all the
thank
attendees.
you.
Thank you very much. Take care.